Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. And today we are on episode 68. From double shift to double freedom. So, Maria Leaps of Faith. And our guest is Maria Igar. So she will be with us in a few minutes. But before, let me introduce myself. So, hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor. Um, I also want to remind you that every Tuesdays and every Thursday we have our live webinar. So if you want to learn how you can start your online business and start earning online, all you have to do is just register into my website that appears on the screen with your name and email address, and I'll send you that invitation to watch the webinar. So when you register into my website, you will receive an email that will contain two links. The first one is to register for the live webinar. So that one will take you to a page that will have two buttons, one for Tuesday, one for Thursday. So you can register for either one or for both. The second link that you have there is the link to the replay of the live webinar. So just in case you cannot attend to the live webinar, that's not a problem. You can always catch the replay and watch it from the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, I also invite you to our private Facebook group where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. Now, you're probably wondering, so what am I going to find out on the webinar? So on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So let's find out who are the hosts and panelists from this past Thursday's live webinar. So if you want to catch that replay before tomorrow's live webinar, here were the hosts and panelists from that day. All right, so our host was Rebecca. She's a radiographer. And our first panelist is Eden. She's a dentist. We have Tracy, a retired nurse. We have Rose, a retired warehouse worker. We have PB and Josh. So PB is a retired nurse and Josh is a real estate investor. We have Tarisi, a former teacher, currently a stay-at-home mom, and Dorothy, a retired geriatric nurse, and Doreen, a retail associate. So as you see, we have all different walks of life, but they have all something in common, and that is, they decided to take that leap of faith to change their life and their family's life. So if you're catching this replay before tomorrow's live webinar, our replays has subtitles in several languages. And our live webinar has subtitles in 5 languages: the Spanish, French, Tagalog, Vietnamese, and Arabic. So there you go. So now you know if you want to learn how to start your online business, all you have to do is to um, to register into my website and I'll send you that information. Okay, so like we mentioned, we are on episode 68, from double shifts to double freedom. So Maria Leaps of Faith. So like I mentioned, my guest is Maria Igar. But before I bring her into the studio, let me introduce her to you guys. So I'm so excited to welcome today's special guest, Maria Igar. Maria is a full-time dialysis nurse from California, dedicated to caring for others and born for others born at work and at home. For others both at work and at home. She started her online business not just to earn extra income, but with a bigger mission: to create a life of freedom and purpose for herself and her family, and to help others do the same. So, stepping out of her comfort zone wasn't easy, but Maria knew in her heart that faith plus action equals miracles. So, her story is a beautiful example of courage, purpose, and leading with heart. So get ready to be inspired and let's bring Maria to the studio. Hi, Maria. Thank you for coming.
Sandy. Hello, everybody.
So I know I did a little bit of introduction, but is there something else you want to add to it that I didn't mention?
Um, yeah, so for everybody watching right now, and if you're gonna watch the replay of this live, my name is, as what Sandy said, my name is Maria Igar. I'm a nurse here in California. I work two jobs. Um, I am originally from the Philippines, Cagayan de Oro City. So I'm Bisaya, mayong adlaw sa tanang mga Bisaya nga minaw karon. And I think you've said everything, Sandy.
Okay, no worries. So thank you so much. So let's dive in into the questions. Okay, so the first question for you is, okay, so Maria, as a full-time dialysis nurse working two jobs to support both your life in the US and family back home, what was the defining moment that made you realize you needed to step out of your comfort zone and build something different for yourself and your loved ones?
Yeah, thank you, Sandy, for having me today. So, as a full-time dialysis nurse working two jobs, one in the outpatient clinic and another in long-term acute care, I thought I was already doing everything I could for my future and for my family back home. But deep inside, I felt like I was just surviving. I was pouring out so much of myself, yet always feeling like there was never enough time, never enough money, and honestly, no, never enough energy, and honestly, never enough income. So the defining moment for me came when one quiet evening after work, I was so exhausted. My feet were sore, my heart was so heavy, and I remember looking at my rosary. I'm a Catholic, so I pray the rosary. Um, I look at my rosary, praying for strength. I asked the Lord, is this it? Like, is this all I'm meant to do until I retire? Or is this the only way I can bless my family? That's when it hit me. Um, if I wanted something different, I had to do something different. I had to step out of my comfort zone. It was the same zone that was keeping me stuck, tired, and financially limited. I didn't have business experience. I didn't have a lot of time, but I had faith and a very deep desire to build something sustainable, not just for me, but especially for my loved ones and for the people I'm meant to inspire. So I saw this ad from a fellow nurse in Texas, and she was thriving in the business and she had more time with her family. She had two little kids. And so I was like, if she did it, I can do it too. So um I did my due diligence, I signed up, I did the training, and I started the business. And starting this digital business was very scary. But I realized fear doesn't mean stop. It just means I am growing. And now I'm so happy to be in this business. And I'm so glad I am building a legacy beyond the bedside. I'm I'm helping others to find their courage too. So yeah, that's
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so you mentioned a lot of good nuggets here. Um, so you got to the point, like you've been working two jobs, but to be able to help, your family here and your family back home. But then, like one day you realize that, that's you ask your question, like, was that enough? Is this what am I supposed to do, like, for the rest of my life? So that make you reflect in your life, and think, there must be a better way, right?
yeah.
And then you pray to God, and then you were able to find this ad, where you got to see, another nurse, with two kids, and yes, you see, like, you didn't have not enough time,
Hmm.
to be able to do this, but you had a desire and you have faith. and
Yes.
and this, I love, because you say that, because a lot of times, people know that they need to have change, that we need some change in our lives, but sometimes we say, oh no, we don't have time, but in reality I think that when we say that is because we also have, um, we have fear, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fear of step into the unknown, step into to what we don't know. And you had those fears, you have, but like you say, your fears didn't stop you because
No.
you wanted to have to build a better lifestyle for you and your family. So even though those fears were there, you push through because you have your willingness to change your life, and you have the faith on God, you know, to be able to help you to move forward and into something totally new to you. But you took that leap of faith. So now you are building that legacy, you know, for your family. So when we are talking, for those viewers who are watching us, when we're talking about building a legacy, is, you know, we're talking about building this business that can be passed on to your kids, to your
Mm-hmm.
family. So that's the legacy that you're building. But besides that, you know, there's another legacy that you also can leave to your family. And that's the legacy that they are watching you, your kids are watching you, um, to do something that is out of your comfort zone, you know, and to be able to reach and go for your dreams. So, and overcome any obstacles and challenges along the way. So when your kids see you, they say, well, if my mom is going for her dreams and fighting, you know, for her dreams, and doing, you know, stepping out of her comfort zone and do things that, you know, she was not comfortable, so can I, you know. So you become that inspiration to them. So that's the other legacy that you're leaving behind. All the things that you're going through, they're watching you. So they get inspired by you, um, seeing that. So it's not only the legacy financially, but also the legacy that you're leaving to the next generation, that, you know, my mom was able to do this even though she didn't have no skills and no knowledge into the online business, but she had the willing. So if she was able to do it, so can I. So I can do anything that I set my mind to it. So that's the other legacy that you're leaving. So that's amazing. And then also you mentioned, you know, helping others. Yeah, this is not only about
Yeah.
you only, but also making an impact on other people's life. And eventually, you know, once we start building that financial independence, you know, we're also be able to give back to the community. Um, or help, you know, any organization that you want to help besides your family, um, because you will have you will be enough that you will be able to have for you, but also
Mm-hmm.
to give back. So that's the beauty. So thank you so much for sharing that, because that's an inspiration. You know, you were able to overcome your fears, and be able to, you know, to make room for this business because you had a willingness to be able to change your life and your family's life and impacts other people's life. Thank you so much. Okay, so question number 2 for you. So you mentioned it that faith plus action equals miracles. How did your faith guide you through the doubts and negativity when you first started this online business, and what mindset shifts help you stay resilient?
Yes. I always say with all my heart, faith plus action equals miracles. When I first started this online hustle, the doubts were very loud. I was very skeptical. Um, I had so many questions in mind, like the what ifs kept
Mhm.
whispering in my ear. Like I would ask myself, what if I fail? What if this isn't for me? And what will other people say? Because I didn't have business background. I was already juggling two jobs and I felt so unqualified. But, every time I felt afraid, I would pause and pray, like, Lord, if this is your will, please open the way. And somehow, He always gave me just enough light, just enough light for the next step. Not the full picture, but just enough grace to keep going. So my faith reminded me that I wasn't doing this alone. Um, that even if I had no idea what the outcome would be, I could trust the one who holds my future. But you see, faith wasn't enough on its own. I had to move, even if I was scared. I had to show up for the vision God planted in my heart. And as I took small steps in obedience, miracles started showing up. Doors opened, support came, people were inspired. And I just feel blessed because I hear a lot of business partners say that they have very skeptical husband, but my husband is very supportive. He's the one that tells me to go, go, go. So that's a plus for me.
Yeah.
I was the one who was skeptical, but without him pushing me, I wouldn't be here. So the biggest mindset shift was from fear to faith, from what if I fail, it switched to what if it actually works? And then from the thought or the the belief that I'm just a nurse to it switched to I'm a nurse and a businesswoman called to bless others. So for anyone out there feeling unsure, I'll tell you, faith doesn't mean you won't feel fear. You will still have fear, of course, yes, but faith means you choose to move despite fear. And that's when the miracles begin.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's beautiful. Yeah, I love what you share here, so faith plus action equal miracle. And doubts very loud. Yes. I think that's for everyone in this journey. When we start, we start excited, or we start with a little bit fear, but along the way, because this is not an easy journey, you will have ups and downs. Along the way, we're gonna find our moments where we have those doubts that you were saying, the loud doubts. But like you mentioned, you you pray to God, you have your faith on God, because He was the one who led you here. So so He gave you that little, when you pray, they give you that little hope, like light there. But like you say, God will help you, but we also have to help ourselves. We have to take action, and that's what you did. You took action. um so you have to overcome your fears by doing that. And I love that you mentioned, like in many people in our community, they have a skeptical husband, and yeah, and that makes it
Mm-hmm.
a little bit harder. But in your
Yeah.
case, you're so blessed that you have your husband that is supporting you, that is the one pushing you, to be able to keep going. So that's amazing to have that support. Because it's like for the other ones, they have to rely on the community, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the community plays a role, to be able to support them, because they don't get that support from home. Eventually they will. It's just that their family, they don't really believe in the business at the time, but once they start seeing the results, then they start helping and giving supporting. But yeah, so that's amazing that you have that support from your husband, because it really makes a huge difference when you have that support. um so I love when you say, like you ask your questions, change it, your mindset from fear to faith. Okay. And you started to asking your question, what if I fails, and what if it actually works, and that's the thing, like many times, we need to shift our mindset from those doubts and change it into the positive, and that's what you did here in this case, and I love what you say, in terms of, a lot of people say, like, yeah, I don't have the skills, I don't have the knowledge, I never done any business or any online business. But really, you don't need any knowledge or any skills, because everything is provided to you, and we got all the tools and support also
Mm-hmm.
to be able to succeed in this business. So I love how you define yourself now, after, despite the fears and the doubts that you had, you're saying, now I'm a nurse, I'm a business owner, and I'm here to help others. So, so you're helping others in both ways. So that's beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. Because for those people that are listening to us, that that maybe they have those doubts, or the negativity, you are a good example how you can overcome those fear, those doubts, and turn it into a positive way, like you mentioned, the example of what if I fail, what if it actually works,
Mhm.
you will never know if you don't try. So just by taking action is the only way that you will know if it will work or for you or not. And many times, we found that ourselves things that we thought that we couldn't do, right? But then we later on we find out we are able to do it because we try, we get out of that comfort zone. So you get surprised of how many things you can do that you thought that you couldn't do along this journey. So thank you for sharing that. All right. So question number 3. So now that you have begun creating a life of freedom and purpose, what advice would you give to other healthcare workers or parents who feel trapped in the work to survive cycle and are afraid to take that first leap?
Yeah, thank you so much, Sandy. So I am very excited to answer that question. I'm just very excited to share this to everybody. So, to my fellow healthcare workers and all the parents out there, if you feel stuck in that endless cycle, work, sleep, repeat, I feel you. I was you. I know what it's like to give your all at work, care for others day in and day out, and still wonder if you're really living, or are you just surviving? But here's what I've learned. You don't have to stay trapped in that cycle. Creating a life of freedom and purpose doesn't mean you have to walk away from your profession or responsibilities. It means you build something alongside with them that gives you more options, more time, more peace, more joy, more freedom. And I'm talking about real freedom.
Mhm.
My advice, start small, but you have to start now. Don't wait for the perfect time, because that there's no such thing as perfect time. It will never come. When I started this online business, I didn't have all the answers, but I had reasons. My family, my faith, and most of all my future. I'm not getting young. I mean, we're not getting younger. We're going forward. We're not we're not backwards. We're going forward. And I hope to retire early. And I have very high hopes and faith that this business would make that happen. And to the moms, dads, and nurses like me, your dreams are valid. Your exhaustion is real, but so is your potential. Don't let fear make decisions for you. Let hope and vision guide you instead. And remember, first leap doesn't have to be big, it just have to be brave. So take that leap of faith. Join us. Um, you'll never look back. You're not too late. You're on the right time.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, those were very good nuggets. I love all the things that you say. Um, and one thing, like we always say, like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until I learn a little bit more of this, or always waiting for that perfect moment or better, prepared. But in reality, that's if you keep waiting for that, you're gonna keep waiting and pushing
Mm.
and pushing. And by the time you look back, you're already the age of retirement and you lost all those years. So don't wait for that perfect time, like Maria said, because the perfect time was yesterday and the
Yes.
next perfect time is now. Okay. So you gotta take action now because it doesn't matter if it doesn't have to perfect. We are not perfect. Okay. We are humans with imperfections, but we do try to do our best, and that best is try, do it. Don't wait to oh, I need to go to school to learn first to be able to do this, because you don't really need that. I mean, our online business, like we mentioned before, you don't need zero knowledge, zero technical skills, because we have all that video based training that is provided to us. So you can do it at your own pace. And on top of that, we have all the tools and resources that you need, plus the support. So you got a mentor, you got a coach, and you
Mhm.
got the global
Yes.
online community. So that is behind you. So you're never alone on this journey. You always have someone along the way with you. So, and it doesn't matter, like if you're someone who have different shifts at work and you think like, oh, by the time I'm asking, no one is going to be able to answer my question. No, because of the global online community, that's the
Mhm.
beauty of it. Like, it doesn't matter what time of the day you ask a question, someone on the other side of the world will be able to help you and answer that question to you. So like we mentioned, you're never alone in this journey. We do have a comment here from Joseph Kitashani. He say hi Joseph, thank you
Hi,
for watching.
Joseph.
Thank you for your comment. um so yeah, so don't wait for the perfect time. This is the time. So if you're feeling that you are to that point where nothing is changing in your life, that you don't see yourself going ahead, instead of you're getting behind, then you have to do something, because time is ticking. Time is not waiting for you. So you have to take action now. So the other thing that I like is, you started this business not having all the answers, okay? But you had a why, a strong reasons why you're doing this business. And that's the important thing, because when you have a strong why, you this is what is going to help you to build your business and going through this journey. Because like we mentioned, before, it's not an easy journey, but if you know what you want to achieve, you're going to be able to achieve it. That's the difference of not having a direction.
Mhm.
It's like, for example, you go driving, and you go, okay, let's just drive around, but you don't have a direction where you're going to. But if you have, you put the GPS with a final destination. Even if there is like construction, the GPS will reroute you, but it will lead you to the
Right.
final destination. So that's how our journey is. We might have obstacles and challenges along the way, but if we have a vision, we have a reason why we want to do this, we're going to shift to where we want to go. So that's why it's important to have a strong why you're doing this. So the first thing that I would recommend to you guys is reflect in your life. So take a time on your day, reflect in your life, and see how has your life has been the past 3 years. Are you still remaining in the same place? And how would you see yourself if you keep in the same place the next 3 years? If you are seeing yourself in the same position, then you have to do something about it, because everything around you it's evolving, but you are still in the same place. um, and the thing is, plan B before maybe was optional, but nowadays to have a plan B is very important, because you never know what could happen. So it's good to have a plan B, because at least you have something to fall back on. So it's good if you started now. So, if it's something happened later on, let's say, you have something to fall back on. So that's why it's important to have a plan B. And you can start this on on the side. And the thing is, like, the good beauty of this business is not like another job where you have to actually allocate your time to go there and spend those times there. No, this online business adapt to your schedule. So you can fit it into any time pocket of your day and be able to do it. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you, everyone gets to the final destination you know um, the important thing is that you're working towards that. I'd rather work 3 to 5 years doing, building my business, that working my entire year to be able to until my age of retirement, than finding out that my health might not be good, I might not have enough money for retirement, and then what? Then I have to keep continue working to be able to support myself. So
Right.
why wait until then? Take action now. Okay. Yesterday I was watching the news and I just saw that they were making the comparison of the hiking of the prices
Mm-hmm.
from what was last year into what was this year. And that the two of them that they mentioned, there was a little bit of difference in percentage, but when it comes to meat and milk, that was a huge difference in percentage on the price. And people, like for example, meat is becoming very expensive in a way that, like it will get to a point like only few people are gonna be able to buy meat because it's so expensive. So you really have to start thinking now. And that's why we do these lives, just to show you, you have better options than what you're doing, and you can do this on the side. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to leave your job yet, you know um,
Yeah.
or if you love your job, you can keep working, but you at least you have this one on the side. Like I mentioned, I had one guest that she wasn't expecting to be laid off. She worked 25 years in the IT department, and then suddenly she received a notification that she was laid off. um, and that's another example of, we think our job is going to be there forever, but that's not the case. So we really have to open our eyes, of what's happening around there, and take action and do something now that you can, to start this on the side, so you wouldn't be surprised, you know later on. So that's why we're doing this lives, just to let you know that there are options that you can do, and to be able to find a better way to create that lifestyle and building that financial freedom for you and your family. um yeah, and I love the way that you say, don't let fear make decisions for you. And it's true, because if we let our fears take over ourselves, the fear is the one making decisions for you, and you're not gaining control of yourself. You're giving that control to your fears. So make sure that you don't let fears, and fear, like in reality, fear is always going to be there, but fear is there to push you to do things that you think that you're not capable, but you are. Okay. It's just that thin line that here are your fears, but if you take action, you're going to find out that, you're able to do it. It's just by taking action, by practicing, by doing it many times, you're going to be able to achieve. So you're going to be able to defeat that fear. Like a good example of that is the lives. For example, when I started, every time that I was going live, I was like, my heart was palpitating so fast. But because I've been doing it, now I don't have that fear. But once in a while, guess what? That fear will pop up again. But now I know how to overcome that fear. So even though like I have that fear, once I started, and I started doing it, that fear starts dissipating, and then it's gone again. But yeah, fear is always there to push you, to keep growing, because that's what it is. Fear keeps you, push you to keep growing as a person, and that's what we are here in this business, online business. You are growing, you're self-developing yourself in this journey. We can see many of us, when we started this journey, we were not having too much confidence, and now, as we went through the journey, we have evolved, in building that confidence, working on our mindset and self-developing, because of the knowledge and skills that we have acquired. So many times, we don't realize that we have changed, but our loved ones surrounded, or our friends, they can see the difference, and they will see that you have changed and you have built that confidence. So yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that. And we have arrived to the end of our lives. So just remove this. Yeah, so we have arrived to the end of our lives. So I hope so that you got really inspired with, Maria's story, because, it's very inspiring, for those who are doubtful, for those who maybe think that, they're not capable of doing it. Maria is a good example. It is possible. You just have to believe in yourself. You really have to know your why you're doing this, and that will help you to achieve whatever you set your mind to. So thank you so much, Maria, for sharing your story and your journey with us and with the audience. It's really inspired. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy, for having me.
Yes, thank you. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. And for those catching the replay, thank you so much. To our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. If you're watching it from Facebook and you are not following us, you can follow me here, and you can follow Maria. What is the name of your business page?
Maria, nice.
Maria Nice, yes. So you can follow Maria on Maria Nice, so that way you get to know us a little bit more, who we are, what type of content we put in our pages, and more information about the business. And if you're watching us from YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can just subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, and that way you get notified when we post new contents and also when we are going live, so that way you keep learning more about this online business opportunity. And you're also watching us from Instagram, so because Maria is on Instagram right now. So if you're not following Maria on Instagram, you can follow her on her Instagram page, and that way you get to know more about her, and what type of content she posts on her pages, and more information about this online business opportunity. So there you go. So if you want to learn more about this online business opportunity, here are the three ways that you can do that. So you can either put in the comments more info, or you can send us a private message, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Or you can also register directly into our website that appear on the screen with your name and email address, and we'll help you with that. We'll be sending you an email that will contain two links. So the first one is to register to the live webinar, which will happen to have a live webinar tomorrow, Tuesday, 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. But you can also catch the replay of last Thursday's live webinar before tomorrow's live webinar. So if you wanna watch that one, when you get the email, you also get a replay link of the live webinar, so you can watch it at the comfort of your own home. In addition to that, we also invite you to our private Facebook group, where you get to see more success stories from members of our community and more information about the business. So if you're probably wondering, okay, so what am I going to find out on the webinar? So on the webinar, you're going to find out how our online business plan works. And also you get the opportunity to hear from the panelists, which are members of our community, who will be sharing with you why they decided to start their online business and how this online business has transformed their lives. So um, I also wanna give some. I don't know if I mentioned it, the likes, but we have some likes from Joseph Kitashani, Justin Nuwimana, Mustafa Amaman, Claude Tuagijerasu, and also Panion Ingar. So thank you so much for all your likes and your heart emojis. Uh, we really appreciate it, and all for all the comments too. And thank you for watching the live with us today. So we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and a happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are on Tuesday, and a happy and blessed rest of the week ahead for everyone. So thank you again, and we want to wish, of course, a thank you for Maria for spending her time today with us and sharing her journey and her experience in the online business. So thank you so much, Maria, for being here
Thank you,
with us.
Sandy.
So saying that, we want to say thank you to everyone, and until the next episode of the Real Talk Journeys of Resilience and Success. So stay tuned for tomorrow with another guest and another topic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye, everyone.